I have no plan. I have no idea. I can't talk with no one because I don't want to show how lost I am and how I I'm not able to cope with it. You come to this earth and you have all the possibilities. And I came into a family which was totally about being different. I didn't know that because for me it was normal. And I was a performer. I was a single child and I was performing. I was singing. I was raised in a jewelry company. So I was like surrounded by diamonds and by gemstones, but also by a lot of work. Because what you don't know about the jewelry industry, it looks fancy and it is beautiful, but it is a lot of work. And my parents, they really managed to take the company, which was with them in the fourth generation, they managed to make it shine really big. I grew into this family, but because everything was about the company, I didn't want to become a jeweler. And I became something else. I became an actress. And whoops, there you see me on a picture, which was actually an advertisement for the company. So although I did acting, there was always some kind of connection. So I got married and I had a daughter. And then I had my second child, Tippi. The years went on and I broke up with my husband. I went to Berlin and my parents, they asked me to join the company. And I was like, Well, I was 40 years old and somehow I thought, yeah, let's do that together. Because as you can see, we're kind of a special family. There you see my mom stepping up ahead. Then you see Tippi, my father always in between all these women. Then there's me. And in the back, my very intelligent daughter, Charlotte. And so my father and me, we worked together. We tried to do designs together. And well, my father and me, we're pretty much the same. And as you can see in this picture, there has been some conflict. But you know what? When I started, I had so many possibilities. And you have to know this company, we had at that time, I think we had 100 employees and we had shops around the world. And when I started, we had a turnover, we had a lot of millions. And we did productions, and I was even at the Vogue in New York. I felt like, wow, I own the world. And then things got harder and harder. The economy was difficult, and I saw that my father was doing some decision which I didn't like, or couldn't really cope with. So there was this final talk we had where I said, listen, I'm soon 50. I want to be in charge. So he didn't talk for me for 3 days. And after these 3 days, he said, okay, take it. I'm so fed up with you. You take it. And so I did my own collection. I moved to a new building and I had an amazing fair. And after a very, very, very difficult Christmas, at that time it was still, we're talking about 2012, it was still that the jewelry industry made a lot of money on Christmas sales. And we had not good done. And, but in February, I'm on the fair and I have an amazing booth and I feel like, yes, I can do it. I'm such a pro. And then one of the financial guy, the CFO, comes on the booth and he's not smiling. And he takes me to the side and he says, Caroline, we can't pay our employees and we can't pay our rent. And we're talking about 16 shops and we're talking about 160 employees. So it's round about 450,000 euros, which are not there. And I can't tell you what happened at that moment, because, you know, these situations where everything goes slow motion and you just think, gosh, what's next? I have no plan. I have no idea. And I don't know who to ask. I can't talk with my father at that time because he and me, we are really in bad terms. I can't talk with the guy, the CFO, because I mistrust him suddenly. I can't talk with no one because I don't want to show how lost I am and how I'm not able to cope with it. So next month I have to talk to banks. I have to find an investor. I have to clear the situation. Everything goes just boom, 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 boom. It's awful. A lot of things happen, bad things. But I still keep on doing. I go up, go to the company, I keep on smiling, I find an investor, he's investing in the company. But I'm doing it and I don't feel myself anymore. Because if I would feel myself, I would feel the pain and the hurt. And then there is a moment where I suddenly understand, hey, what if you let go? And so I give the company, which is 135 years old, to the investor. And well, my parents don't talk to me anymore. It is a disaster. And then there is this day where I'm back in Ulm with my parents, and I can only tell you something. Nothing is final, of course. And what I forgot, my parents are all about being different, being unusual, being special. So I get along very good with my mom, and I even make plans with my dad. I learned a lot. Be free. There's always a solution. You always find a way out. Never, never, never let anyone else rule your life. Because life is about taking steps into the unknown. And it feels scary, but you should do it anyway.